Alright, got one good one again. It's been a minute since I posted a video. It's just because I'm lazy and I'm busy. But really wanted to do this video because uh, apparently Kanye West is a big deal, right? Didn't even know anything uh, had happened to the boy until I start seeing all these Facebook posts and stuff about, oh, Kanye's a Christian now. And let me just set the precedent for this video because it's going to set the tone for it. And you can disagree if you want to. I don't like him. I've never liked Kanye West. Think he talks way too much. He just personality wise, what I know of him. I don't know him. I don't listen to his music or anything like that. I've heard some of his music and it's all right. I don't think it's anything special, but I'm not a fan. Let's put it that way. I'm not a fan of Kanye West. So when all this stuff started coming out about him being a Christian and all the backlash he's gotten from it, I find myself in a very odd position because I'm not a fan of the man. I can't say anything I like about him, but I want to defend him at the same time, and it's weird, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there and you can do with it what you want. Uh, First of all, to say Kanye West isn't a Christian and isn't saved or didn't get saved or whatever is just straight up dumb. I ain't gonna mix words with you. It's not right for me to say that about him. I'd have to say that about myself. I can't think of anything he's done that I haven't done, except he's done it in the public eye. He's a uh, celebrity, and I'm not. But I don't think there's anything that he's done that I haven't. So to say that he isn't saved or can't be saved and all that is that's just dumb. You don't know nothing about the Bible if that's what you think. Uh, so I thank God that the boy did get saved. He needed it, and I've been the first person to tell you that. He did a lot of crazy stuff here a while back, and then of course he, got admitted to a hospital and stuff. And I just watched a video of him doing an interview that somebody had posted on my Facebook page, and the interview was really interesting, really neat. He talked about a lot of stuff he's doing and everything he's trying to get done. In my opinion, he's still Kanye. Except now he's saved. He's saved Kanye instead of sinner Kanye, however you want to put it. Uh, but it's he's still the same Kanye. Uh, I think what he's doing is good. He's doing a lot of good. He's got the financial backing to do incredible things. You know, uh, way more stuff than I could do. He talked about all of that in the interview, and I thought it was really neat that he's doing all of that and being that way, and with his finances and his money. And I thought, man, what he's able to do and the people he's able to reach that I can't reach. With just a laptop and an opinion, I can't reach those people, and he has that platform and he can do that. So to come back and bash him is just I don't get it. Even as a Christian, I don't get it. The whole bashing uh, mentality in society today. If somebody's doing something that you don't agree with or that bothers you, just don't look at it. Turn your head. You don't have to put them on blast on Facebook or anything like that. I just don't understand it. People just want to argue and fight for no reason. But it kind of reminded me of here a while back. There was a popular Christian singer. I can't even tell you the man's name. It tells you how important he was to me. But he penned an open letter saying that he had lost his faith and he was, you know, turning away from God and all of this and pursuing other things. And he was supposed to be really influential, apparently, in the Christian world. Like I said, I don't even know the man's name, so you you can see how influential he was to me. But there was something that I do remember. The lead singer of Skillet actually come out and people said that he really, uh, really gave the guy a tongue lashing for what he did. But I read what the guy from Skillet said, and I don't agree with that. He made a lot of sense. Especially in today's society, we don't have any leaders in the Christian community like there used to be. There are no Smith Wigglesworth out there right now. There are none of those guys are prevalent in today's society. They're all dying off, and it's odd because the problem with what the lead singer of Skillet said, the problem is that we're taking these, you know, early, 21, 22-year-old singers who are writing, good worship music and things like that, and we're putting them on a pedestal. And we do this even with preachers and other things in society. We put them on a pedestal, and then when something bad happens or they lose their faith or whatever, it just causes a ripple effect through the whole Christian community, and all of these questions and stuff start getting raised up. And that's the issue. If you are putting your focus on a man or a woman in any position of authority or power or a celebrity or whatever, then you're doing it wrong to begin with. Just let me say that just right out of the gate. The whole point of Christianity is to follow Christ, not to follow man. Now, Paul, I believe, did say, follow me as I follow Christ. But at the same time, you know, we're following Christ. And if Paul was to have fallen somewhere along the path or along the way, that should not have shaken the faith of those that he raised up. It shouldn't shake the faith of those who used to worship to Hillsong music that their lead singer is all of a sudden, not a Christian anymore, because God used him when he could, and the boy lost his faith. I mean, I can't tell you how many times growing up I've had questions, and gone through things that really, really shook my faith. The difference is I stuck with it. I got in the Bible and I got on my knees and I found answers, and I found, a way to not justify, but a way to solidify, what was going on in my faith in the matter. And I think I've had just as much reason to lose my faith as anybody out there. I've faced some pretty heavy stuff in my day. And so, I don't condemn the boy for losing his faith. I'm not going to, throw out all of my Hillsong albums because he lost his faith and what he was doing wasn't Christian or godly. You know, in the Bible, God used an ass. I mean, come on, if he can do that, then Kanye West is no vice. You know what I mean? But I think he's going to do a lot of good in the Christian community if he can somehow channel everything that he's got, into it. He talked a lot about being able to pivot as a man, being able to pivot on stances and ideas. And he made the comment that he doesn't agree with his little girl wearing crop tops, even though he let her wear some type of dress, I guess, when she was 2, apparently a very revealing dress or whatever. And he said, but he doesn't think that way now. He doesn't think the way he did then. He doesn't parent the way he did then. He doesn't view the world the way he did then. And he said, and that inability for people to accept a man's change in view is something that is just, wrong, because everybody grows over time. I don't think there's one person that watches this video that would say, I'm the same person now as I was 10 years ago. I'm 38 now. When I was 28, I was was not the same person I am now. I can tell you that, and uh, it just I don't view the world the same, and a lot of things have changed. So if you were to know me back then, and then to sit down and talk to me now, you would call me, a hypocrite or something because I don't think the same way. I'm not going to give you the same answers as I would then, and I think that's something to really be noted and talked about. Is not so much the fact that the world is unaccepting of Christians as much as it is willing to allow them to pivot on issues, because people don't get it right the first time, all the time. I'll be the first one to admit that. But at the same time, as a Christian, we don't need to be knocking down people who have the financial means and the want to, the drive to actually push the gospel farther into the world and into places that you can't reach, and he's not doing it, one time in it, right? Like he's not doing evangelistic speaking at mom and pop churches, uh, throughout the U.S. He's doing mass praise and worship services. And if you want to get somebody involved, you turn them on to the music. Music is a big draw for people. Uh, Worship is something that I think is very. I think it actually, you know what? I think it's about where it should be right now. There was a time when I think it was uh, overhyped as far as an avenue to God, but I do believe it's been brought back down and leveled, sort of, because what we have is a bunch of Christians who don't know the word. They don't know God's spirit, and they call themselves a Christian because, well, that's how they were raised. Uh, it's carnal Christianity. It's talked about in the Bible too. I think Paul's the one that talked about it. But you have to move yourself beyond that. You have to start understanding the word. You have to start getting into it and praying about it and asking God to reveal it to you the way He needs it to be revealed to you, so that you can understand it deeply, not just surface level. And I think that's what we're missing is in the church, not just so much theologians and knowledgeable people of the Bible, but people who understand it, because I mean, you can read a book and you can read the Bible, and it's going to be the same, as reading a book if you don't actually take it and chew on it and learn it, uh, and get it in your soul and just really let it marinate. But you know, it was interesting to see him talk about, in the interview too. He talked about uh, vices and how he was in the past and how he is now. He also talked about, business ventures and things like that. And I think it's great. Like I said, I don't like the man. I'm not a fan, but I will defend him. If he wants to call himself a Christian and he's doing Christian things, and trying to further the gospel, then more power to him. I'm thinking about going out and buying his album, the Jesus album, because I like I said, I've only heard a little bit of his music, and I thought it was, you know, I thought it was all right. It wasn't nothing special, but if he can reach the people I can't, I give him $15, $20 for an album. I don't care. It furthers the kingdom, then my money's in it. And that was something that I really thought too was interesting, is that he is throwing his money at these things. It's not just him standing up and running his mouth. The Bible says that the Bible teaches your actions are show where your heart is. I was always taught, if you want to know where a man's heart is, look at where he spends his money. So there again, he's putting his money where his mouth is with this stuff, and that you can't get any more real than that. If you're willing to spend money and do things, then you're going on the right path. But that's just my 2 cents. If you're a Christian and you don't like it, uh, get over it. The man is furthering the kingdom of God, and he's got a reach that you don't with your laptop and opinion. So get behind him. You know, somebody's going to have to be in the front. I'm not a front runner. I don't like attention. I don't like to stand up and be that guy. Uh, he's done it his whole life. So if he wants to be out front and take the shots, he's got my support. I'm not going to stand here and criticize him for that crap simply because of the way he used to be. We need somebody out in front. We need somebody, to help push it farther than we can by ourselves. And I think he's a good one to do that. But it's just my 2 cents. Like it or not, you don't have to. Uh, Hopefully, we'll be getting back into the gym. I've actually been out for a little bit. I hurt my shoulder, or I thought it was my shoulder. Turned out it was my trap. So I've been kind of taking it easy this last week, but we're going to get back into the gym. Went back today, started doing some just like hit stuff, nothing major, but I'm going to have to sit down and pin out a new workout to get back in the gym with. Everything's going good here. Health is steadily improving. Uh, got a doctor's visit coming up, and we'll let you know how that goes. But in the meantime, uh, love your neighbor, love yourself. We love y'all. Want y'all to keep on keeping on. Take care of yourselves. Be blessed. See you next time.